Since childhood, you were trained to be nice, to explain yourself so people would understand. What this really taught you was simple and poisonous. Your position is weak unless others approve of it. You were rewarded for explaining, not for being clear, but for being non-threatening. The child who talks too much is called polite. The adult who states and stops is called arrogant. That was not an accident. It was conditioning. The truth is colder. Understanding is not guaranteed by explanation. Authority is not built by justification. Over-explaining does not earn respect. It increases negotiability, and negotiable men are controlled men. You were also told that being nice would keep you safe, that people would like you, that the world would reward you. This lie is implanted early by parents, guardians, teachers. It is taught gently, repeated constantly. Be agreeable, be accommodating, don't upset anyone, behave, and the world will take care of you. That is the illusion. The truth is brutal. Niceness does not protect you. It signals that your boundaries are soft. Soft boundaries invite pressure. Pressure invites exploitation. The world does not reward harmlessness. It tolerates it until it no longer needs to. Today, that conditioning ends. What follows is not motivation. It is surgical mental rewiring. The fog will be cut away. The lies will be exposed. The illusion you were handed since childhood will collapse. Today is the day you stop seeing the world as it should be and start seeing it as it is. Click away now if you want comfort. If you want to keep believing the stories, if the fog still feels safe, but if something in you is already tired, if something already knows you were lied to, if you feel the quiet anger of being trained to be small, then this is for you. Be warned, once you see the world as it is, you will never return to the fog. And you shouldn't. Let dive in. Over-explaining is not honesty. It is fear disguised as logic. The moment you begin to explain yourself, you have already lost. Machiavelli's warning is not moral. It is predatory realism. When he writes, "He that wishes to act on his profession of virtue in everything must necessarily come to grief among so many who are not good," he is describing what happens when weakness disguises itself as goodness. The world does not punish cruelty first. It punishes naivety. And over-explaining is one of its favorite victims. The man who over-explains believes he is being fair, transparent, reasonable. In truth, he is exposing himself. Every extra sentence is a confession of insecurity. He is not clarifying facts. He is begging the room not to turn on him. Machiavelli would recognize this instantly. A man trying to survive by being liked in a world that respects only certainty. Seeking approval is not humility, it is submission. The moment you look to others to validate your position, you admit that your position is unstable. You invite judgment. You hand over authority. Among those who are not good, meaning those who feel no obligation to protect you, this is an invitation, not a defense. Fear of rejection sharpens the knife. The fearful man speaks before he is challenged. He explains before he is questioned. He softens his stance in advance. He believes this will make him safe. It does not. It marks him. Those without fear do not reassure. They do not justify. They allow silence to do the work. Power moves last. The Machiavellian response is brutal in its simplicity. State once. Act. Do not explain. Silence is not emptiness. It is pressure. And pressure is what separates those who command from those who plead. That is the grief Machiavelli warned about. Not loud destruction, but slow erasure. Men do not respect truth. They respect certainty. The one who explains seeks permission to exist. The one who speaks briefly assumes authority. Power never begs to be understood. It positions itself and allows others to adjust. A superior asks John, "Why are you late?" John panics. "I woke up late, my dog was sick, traffic was bad," then each sentence shrinks him. Excuses do not soften judgment, they confirm guilt. The superior turns to David. "Why are you late?" David replies, "It was a mistake. It will not happen again." Conversation ends. Hierarchy restored. Machiavelli wrote, "Men judge more by the eye than by the hand." This means that men believe what they see, not what you intend. Reality does not audit your conscience. It records your behavior. and behavior that explains itself appears uncertain. Uncertainty invites domination. Over-explaining is born from one impulse: fear of rejection, a hunger to be approved, a refusal to stand alone. From childhood, you were trained to confess yourself, to justify, to soften, to ask forgiveness for existing. This conditioning does not create harmony. It creates prey. Social hierarchies feed on those who need to be liked. Carl Jung warned, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." Now let's go into the dark truths of reality. Jung's statement, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate," is a diagnosis, not a metaphor. It describes how weakness hides itself so well that the person believes it is destiny. Over-explaining is not communication. It is an unconscious confession. The person speaks past necessity because silence feels dangerous. They do not know why. Performing to be liked is the final possession. At this stage, the individual no longer acts. They perform. They read faces, adjust tone, suppress instinct, say what keeps them safe. The mask becomes permanent. Jung called this the persona, and he warned that living inside it produces emptiness, resentment, and quiet self-contempt. The person feels unseen, yet they are the one hiding. Still, they call it destiny. Jung's message is brutal. Your need to explain is your shadow speaking, the weak part of you that doubts its right to occupy space. Expose it, discipline it, starve it. Repeat this until it is welded into your nervous system. I need no one's approval. Let's dive deep into the stoic power of silent authority and why over-explaining, seeking approval, is shrinking your soul. Marcus Aurelius ruled without defending his reputation. Marcus Aurelius's sentence, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts," is not about feeling good. It is about mental discipline. He is stating that suffering is not accidental. It is manufactured by the thoughts you allow to run unchecked. Seeking approval and validation is built on a more corrosive belief. Control your thoughts and behavior follows. Leave them undisciplined and they will rule you. That is not philosophy. It is a sentence of fact. The disciplined man does not perform. He does not chatter. He does not compete for attention. In a room addicted to noise, he sits still, unmoving, unimpressed. And when he finally speaks, the room rearranges itself around him. Because silence, when chosen, is not weakness. It is command. Silence is not passivity. It is restraint. Restraint is not absence. It is control. And control is power. The man who does not explain himself forces the world to explain itself to him. Taken together, Marcus Aurelius, Carl Jung, and Niccolo Machiavelli are describing the same mechanism from three different angles. The invisible loss of power that comes from inner disorder, unconscious fear, and moral naivete. In the context of over-explaining versus silence, their message is unified and ruthless. Marcus Aurelius is warning that the moment your thoughts are ruled by fear, fear of misunderstanding, fear of rejection, fear of not being liked, your happiness collapses. Over-explaining is not a communication problem. It is a mental one. A low-quality thought says, "If I don't justify myself, I lose safety." From that thought flows compulsive speech. Silence becomes impossible. Authority disappears. Control of the mind is lost, and with it, peace. Carl Jung goes deeper. He exposes over-explaining as an unconscious compulsion. The person does not choose to explain, they are driven to. An unseen fear runs the behavior, while the conscious mind invents moral reasons to defend it. Honesty, politeness, clarity. Because the fear remains unconscious, the person believes their weakness is fate. Jung's warning is simple. What you do not see in yourself will rule you. Silence returns only when fear is exposed. Machiavelli delivers the final blow. In a world that is not good, virtue without strength is fatal. The man who insists on being transparent, agreeable, and morally correct in every moment is destroyed by those who are not bound by such restraints. Over-explaining is not goodness. It is strategic surrender. It hands leverage to others. Silence, by contrast, denies access. It forces others to adjust, interpret, and react. Together, they arrive at one conclusion. Over-explaining is the symptom of a mind ruled by fear. Fear made unconscious becomes habit. Habit becomes weakness. Silence is not emptiness. It is thought under control, Aurelius. Fear exposed, Jung. And power preserved, Machiavelli. Over-explaining makes you weak. Silence is authority. Weak men seek understanding. Strong men create it. If you're tired of rejection, if you're done with seeking and being, chasing like from those who wouldn't piss down your throat even if is on fire, then you're in the right place. Understand that thin is just the beginning. I'll introduce you to aspects of dark psychology of human nature that will change how you see reality forever. Subscribe if you haven't turned on the notification bell.